Assalamu alaikum. There's an announcement that there will be no session today. We will do the practice session, inshallah, next week because we have a assignment submission today. Okay, once you submit the assignment, then we will do the practice session next week, inshallah. Okay. All right. Okay. So, okay. So we will talk about the functions today. Now, functions can be used to define a reusable code and organize and simplify the code. Let's try to understand using an example. Okay, let's try to understand this using an example. So let's say you want to write a code which sums the integer from 1 to 10, 20 to 37, and 35 to 49. So if you have integers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you want to sum them, and if you sum them, you want, let's answer this 55. So you want to sum it like this. You want the answer for this, and so on and so forth. So you need to write a code which gives you a summation from 1 to 10, 20 to 37, and 35 to 49. So one way of doing it is that you create a program to add these three set of numbers, and your code may look like this. So you have this code to add number from 1 to 10, you have this code to add number from 20 to 37, and you have this code to add number from 35 to 49. Okay, so now what will happen is, if we look carefully, we see that the code is these three codes, this code, and this code is almost same, apart from a difference in that part. Okay, other than this part, the code is almost same. So writing this code three times, we can write this code once and then reuse it. Okay, do you understand this? So what we do is we take this code and we put it here. Okay, so all this code is now put it here. Now and these two numbers are the starting and the ending point. Okay, and then I define my function as my sum, and this function is going to take two parameters, I1 and I2. So whatever I enter here is going to be put over here, and whatever I enter here is going to be put over here. Okay. Yes, Abdulaziz. So, and then now listen to me carefully first, and then we'll ask. And then I will let you ask question. Okay. So I take this part. Look at this. I'm going to use this part. This part is almost the same part. So I take this part and write this function. Okay. So this is the name of the function. The function name is my name is my sum, and so on and so forth. I will talk in detail more about it in a minute, but at the moment I'm just trying to show you how to create a function. So you create a function using a keyword def. So this is a keyword that you use to create a function. This is the name of your function, and these are the parameters of your function. Okay, and this is the body of the function. We'll talk more about this in a minute. Okay, so whatever your result is, the function will return that result. Okay, it means the output is going to be the result. This is what I mean by return. So how do I use this function? I simply say my function, my sum, and the first parameter I1 is 1 and I2 is 10. So it sums from 1 to 10. Okay. So I simply, rather than writing this all, and this all, I simply write my function once, and then I reuse function. Okay, like I use it here, use it here, use it here, and so on and so forth. Okay, do you understand this? Any question? And this is the syntax. So you have this keyword define, the function name, and the list of the parameters in the parentheses, and then you have the function body. Okay, so can you do it in Python? Yes, I will do it in Python in a minute. So let's write a function, find the bigger number. Okay, let's so I'm gonna explain you the function using this example. The example is that we have to find you have to write a function which finds the bigger number. Okay, so this is in the first part we define a function actually. Okay, so when I say define a function, It is you create a function. So how do you create a function? You use a keyword def, and then you have the function name. You have the function name, and then you have the function parameters, and then you have the colon sign. Okay, and then inside the function you have the function body. This is the function body, the action that it will perform. So if the number one is greater than number two, the result is number one. Otherwise, the result is number two. And then we return the result. It means the function, this is the input, these are the inputs, and this is the output of a function. Okay, so my function max has an input num1. Okay, so this result return. Guys, there seem to be some problem in the connection, so I don't know from where the connection got dropped. So can you tell me at which part we got this lost connection? Okay, so I was saying that these parameters are the input to a function, and the function is max, and the output is result. Okay, and how do we know what is the output? We have the keyword return. This return keyword tells us that this is what the function should output. Okay, so we have the definition of the function. For that we use def, and this is the body of function. Okay, so this is the header, and this is the body, and we have the function name, the parameters, and the return value. Now this part is called defining a function. Okay, like creation or defining a function. And then we have second part, which is called invoking or using the function. So here we see that we have the function name. These two are the parameters, num1 and num2 are x and y, and whatever the result of this function is going to be saved in the variable z. So this function max will return some value, and that value will be saved in the z. Okay, so let's do one practice example. Actually, let's try the same code. So what you do is you create a function, define, let's say max, and let's just replace it by my max. Let's just say max, num1, num2, colon. So this is the definition, the header of a function. We will define a function max. So we say if num1 is greater than num2, then your result is num1, 2. Then you say return the result. Okay, so we save this file. Let's say I save this file by name of max. That's it. Okay, now if I go to the idle, okay, and if I say max equals to 1 and 3, look at this, max equals to 10 and 100, look at this. So do you understand it? Or if I say max minus 1 and 0.1, okay. Okay, let's not worry about the negative numbers. So because we did not think about the negative number. So let's say minus 1 and minus 10. What is happening here, guys? Okay, any question? So now look at this. You have created a function and you have used a function. Now look at this. If I don't return any value, let's say if I don't return anything, so what will happen here now? Look at this. Okay, we have to save it first. Oh, I think there's a problem here. Let's save it by my max. Yeah, it was using an internal max function, so that's not right. So we need to use a different name. Let's use my max. Delete this file and use my max. And now see my max 1 and 10. Now what is this problem? Who will tell me? Please. Yes, but I think there is a problem here. Yes. So I can, let's just write in the same file, print the maximum of 10 and 20 is my max 10 and 20. Okay, what is the problem here? Maybe then to write it in num space 2 plus space after the space is num1. Okay, yes. So yes, the maximum, look at this. Okay, let's just take it first of all, return the value. So the return value is 20. Okay, so now, so rather than writing, let's say if you want to write the code 3 times, you don't have to write the code 3 times. You can just use it 100 and 200, and let's say minus 2 and minus 9, minus 9 and minus 2, 100 and 200. Okay, so look at this. You have defined the function once, and then you use it 3 times. Okay, do you understand that? So rather than writing, if we did not know about the functions, we would have to write this code 3 times. Now let's do one more experiment and let's comment it. If I don't return anything, what will happen? Look at this. Look at this. You are returning, there's nothing to return. You have invoked a function and the function has nothing to return. So it returns none. Okay. So if you don't return anything, the function by default returns none. Okay. Any question in this? Okay, so now let's talk more about the functions, and there are some other things in it. So function with or without return values. So the function does not have to return a value. Okay, let's see. Let's see by two examples. So let's use okay. Let's use this slide. So don't look here, don't look here, don't look here. Okay, just look at this part. So I'm gonna tell you what is the difference between a function that does not return a value and function that returns a value. Like here, so let's write this function, print grade function. So I have a function, I'm defining a function whose name is print grade and the parameter is score. Okay, so I have a function whose parameter is score. Now, if the score is greater than 90, then my function will print A. Else, if the score is greater than 80, the function will print B. Else, if the score is greater than 70, the function will print C, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, if I execute this function, now look at this part. Now, if I here I'm asking the user to enter the score, okay, and then I say so based on the score that user has entered, I will invoke this function. Okay, so I will invoke this function. So let me do it on the Python actually, so you can see it more clearly. So let's do it here. So we define a function print grade and it expects a parameter score. Now if score is greater than or equal to 90, then I will say print A. Else if score is greater than or equal to 80, print B. And I'm not gonna do it all, so I'll just say else print fail. Okay, so now let's use this function and say print grade. Let's say the score is 92, and then we just use it again. The print grade, and let's score is 81, and now let's see the print grade. The score is 55. Okay. Oh, what has happened here? Who will tell me the problem? You missed the after fail. You missed the colon. What do you mean by missed the colon? Okay, okay, yes, this, yes, mashallah. Thank you very much. So let's run this code and look at this. Look at this. So when I say print grade 92, I get A perfect. When I say print grade 81, I get B. And when I say print grade 55, I print F fail. Okay. Now look at this. I'm not returning any value. Okay. I'm not returning any value. So what this function is doing is it is just not returning any value. Okay. You get the answer? Like if I want to say it like this and say print A, let's see what happens. Look at this. Look at this. What happens? The A is none. Why? Look at this. The first this when I run this line, it says A because the grade is A. But when I say the value A, print A, it says none. Why? Because this does not return anything, so nothing is saved in the A. Okay? Because there's nothing returned, so it returns none, and that none is saved in the A. Do you understand this? Now let's do something different. Now let's see if score is this, then it must return A or it must return B. Now look at the difference. What happens? Must return fail. Now let's see. Now you will be interested. This now look at this. Now this A we will get the grade and that grade will be printed here. Look at this. Now it prints the value of A. The grade is A. So when you return the value, you can put the value in a variable. If you don't return the value from the function, you cannot put the value in a variable. Do you all understand this? Any questions? Okay, so this is what was on this slide. Like if you return a value, You use this, and if you don't want to return the value, you use this. Okay. Now, okay. So that is. Let me show you one more code here, and then we'll talk about this example. This code. Now, this is more formal way of doing it. Okay. So you first define a function sum, and then you define a main. Then you define a main function, and then you invoke a main. Now, this is more formal way of using functions. Okay. That you write the functions, then you define a main, and then you invoke a main. Okay, let me do it on the Python actually, so you can see it more clearly. So let's take this part, let's put it here. So I have the function mymax, and then let's have two functions. Let's have mymax, and let's have the function with sums, mysum. This is a very important example, so be careful here, okay? num1 and num2. So I have two functions, mysum and imax. Okay? We can use a different argument here. Let's say we use I1 and I2. So let's say the result is 0 if there's no input. And then we say for I in range I1 to I2 plus 1, the result plus equals to I, and then you return the result. Okay. So now we have two functions here. This is the first function and the second function, knowledge function. Let's say we ask the user to input two numbers, enter first number, and then we say user to enter second number. Now, and then we can say print the max is my max, x and y, and then say the sum is my sum. Okay, so what is the round? Okay, so let's run this code and see. Enter the first number. Let's enter 5. Let's enter 4. Look at this. Oh my goodness, the sum is 0. What is going on here? So what is the problem? Result. Let's comment this. Enter the first number 5, 6, 5. Okay, yes, so we need to have this. Yeah, what's the problem in this code, guys? If I enter 5 and enter 4, the answer should be 5 and 9. So what is the problem here? Who will tell me the problem? Because we just have this function, my sum. It was working perfectly fine here. Oh, we did not write my sum. Okay, we did not write my sum. No, I have it, my sum here. I have it somewhere here. So let's open the file. Yeah, I have it here. It was working perfectly fine here, but not there. So what is the problem? If I run here, look at this. It's perfectly running fine. Okay, I need to change a few things. The sum from x to y is, that's better. So 5, 4, and 4. This is not right, okay? So, okay, the command 5 to 8. It's working fine. Okay, I got it. I understood it, yes. No. The problem was not in the code. The problem was in the input, okay? Because, I was not summing 5 and 4. I was summing everything between 5 and 4. And between 5 and, the first number has to be small and second number has to be big for this function to work, okay? So this is perfectly fine function. So run module. Let's say if I enter 8 and if I enter 12, the answer is this. Because between 8 and 12, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, if I add these two numbers, I have 17. These two numbers, 23, and then 12. And if I add them all, I'll get 20. What is 21? Sorry. 21 and 23, 33, 40, 50. So I was actually not summing 8 and 12. I was summing everything between 8 and 12. Okay? Understood? So now you can see. I can also have two functions. Look at this in one file. Now this is not. Then you put everything in the main. You put everything in the main, and then you simply invoke the main. But the main needs to have what? So let's see. So you enter the first number is 5, enter the number is 7, and look at this. So this is the proper way of doing it, okay? So you define your functions, and you even define the main, and you simply invoke the main. So this is the proper way of doing this, okay? So now you can see that within a function, we can call another function that is defined up here. So we have a function inside another function. So that's the proper way of doing it. And that's what's done over here as well. So you have the main, you have the function, and then you're calling the main. By the way, you can also define this thing below the main, and this will also work. But if you define these functions after the invoking the main, then what will happen? Now, this is going to be a problematic. So let's say 5. We have a problem here. Why? Because when we invoke the main, we go here, and when we go here, this is not, we're not sure what this thing is. So all these things need to be defined before invoking the main. Okay, before invoking the main, you define everything. Okay, so once you invoke the main, then don't define any more functions. Any problem in this? Now take around 1 minute and try to solve this question, and then I will take your answer. Okay, so let's see. Smallest profile 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Output is 5. Okay, let's see. Let's see. So first thing first, we invoke. We have the main, so we go to the main, and in the main we have this function with parameter 5 and 6. So we say print the minimum, the output of this. Print the value of this. So we go there. Now this is 6. Now this is 5, and this is 6 now. So this is 5, this is 6, and this is 5. This is 6. So we say the smallest is equal to 5 if 6 is smallest is less than smallest. Smallest is 5. Now this is false. This is false. So we don't go here. So the smallest is 5. Okay. So we are going to print. Interesting. I think let's do it on the Python. So some people are saying the answer is going to be 5. Let's see. Okay, let's do it on the Python and see ourselves, because I want to show it to you guys rather than me saying it. So let's see. Print minimum of 5 and 6. Define minimum of n1 and 2. And then we say smallest n1, and 2 is less than smallest, and smallest equals to n2. And then we just simply invoke the main. Look at this. Why is it none? The output is none. Why? Yes, Badr, mashallah, you're right. Why is it none? Because we are not returning anything. So therefore, we will have to put return smallest. Now we have the 5 number. Okay, so be very careful with this thing. Now look at this. So look at this code. Now if I return, then I will get the answer, the minimum, which is -1 in this example. Okay, so be very careful in your exams. So you need to be very careful in your exams. Okay. So who was the guy? Badr Abdullah. Okay, Badr Abdullah. This is the guy, I think. And there was one more guy, Abdul Aziz Muhammad Suleiman. Abdul Aziz. Okay, so good job, guys. Good job. Anything? Is it clear, guys? Any question in this? Okay, so I'm gonna stop here, and we'll do one. We'll do this stuff in the next class, inshallah. Okay. Okay, so any questions, guys? So remember that the practice session is not today. We'll do it next week once you submit the assignment, and I will upload another assignment today or tomorrow, inshallah, regarding functions. Okay, any question? Okay, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.